Good morning. This is Engineer Suraj Singh, certified professional engineer from Institution of Engineers India. Bharat, our country, is in a very sorry state. There are so many problems, and politicians are not solving anything. One of the problems is about the communalism and the secularism. What is communalism and what is secularism? Political parties have mixed up everything. In the constitution, there is no clarity about what is secularism. Actually, there is no definition. Secularism is considered by every party according to their suitability. So there was a blog we gave last year, which says like this. You see at the blog, secularism must be discussed openly to degenerate its misconcept and establish its real applicable construction. It was given by me, by Professional Engineer Suraj Singh. It's very complicated, but public has to find an answer if the political parties do not find. Unfortunately, our leaders did not understand this at the time when the constitution was drawn. So let's see what it says. Shall we be able to understand the correct meaning of secularism that applies to Bharat, India scenario? This deliberation is significant in its perspective as no definition exists within our Constitution of India Act. In 1949, when the Constitution of India Act was enacted, the word secularism was not included as an integrated main part of the preamble page. It indicates that the Constitution Assembly had minded a normal application of the term as practice of religious freedom. Practice of religious freedom, I repeat, as included within the fundamental rights. In the absence of a clear-cut description and its scope, development of many differences of opinions are natural, and all political parties have either used or misused the term to their vested interest suitability. Congress, the premier party of the nation, has been an exclusive major political party since its independence and prior to that as well, till today. According to Congress practical application, construction of this term has been just thinking of one community in all respects is secular. Congress has failed in all respects to explain the correct meaning of secularism by limiting it to just by encountering it with the word communalism. Actually, there is no such word in the Constitution of India Act. Communal refers to every community or sect. Should we discuss about Islam, it is communal to the same value as if we discuss about Gita, Ramayana, Vedas, or Bible, etc. Late PM Mrs. Indira Gandhi amended the Constitution of India Act around emergency period and inserted this term officially. The whole purpose of this insertion was to be used as a weapon against non-Congress political parties. We, the people, could not understand the Congress/Indira design of its long-term effect. Factually speaking, there was no need of inserting this term as all communities had been living in harmony. Let us analyze what this word has gifted to us. Hate, distance, political, vote bank, etc. All religions are equally responsible for this current state of affairs. Constructive communities in Bharat have been since centuries. Political parties, particularly Congress, has used the vote banks for its electoral gains. Designated Hindu votes banks never existed as Hindu community find even inconvenient to go to cast the franchise. So lazy really they are from this viewpoint. In the absence of these lazy voters, after 3 p.m. on the polling day, imposters from the political parties enter the booths in connivance with the party agents by impersonation, cast their votes of lazy people. I have personal experience as my vote was already cast when I reached the booth and disputed with the presiding officer, who later, after having verified my identity, issued a tender vote. So far, Congress has depended on the SC and ST votes on one side and Muslim votes on the other. Both these banks are good enough to get absolute majority. Forget the manifestos. Congress never cared for the votes of other communities, particularly so designated Hindu have always been out of Congress books. Moreover, designated Hindus themselves are in various communities all over India. Factually speaking, designated Hindus are the major communities as minorities. According to secular pace of the nation, all communities should be treated uniformly, but that never happened. Just by enactment, the Congress has satisfied various sections as well as communities to maintain its vote banks intact. Congress has to clarify by enactment about the meaning of secularism, or this meaning has to be clarified by the parliament. Is talking about Vedas or other holy documents, the person becomes communal, or if talking pro-Muslim, person becomes secular. If some community forces the other community diplomatically for converting into a foreign faith, it implies whether to secularism or to communalism. Or it is right that a state should not at all talk of any religion or faith and treat all citizens to one scale. It is secularism. Or some community should get state funding for its religious affairs and the others should be discarded. It is secularism. The public and the nation need this clarification in black and white, without any ambiguity. The absorption of the public has been over. We do not want to live in a dark world of politics. Everything should be clear in all respects. In case the explanation is not feasible, why talk of this tone? Unnecessary, when the people can live in peace and in harmony without its existence in the law. No community should have any fear from another community, and they do not have in reality any fears. But Congress always talks of protection of minorities along with other parties, those parties which designate themselves as secular and others as communal. Has this term done any good to the nation, or just for the sake of its existence? It is to continue to show to the world the above content may look to some people bad, but right medicine is always bitter. I am sure that public shall start calling me communal and that I have tried to spread hate. But do not forget, the clarity with clear concept always pays. Nation should keep its mind that people are no more uneducated and can not just accept anything what Congress or other advocates of secularism argue. It's better to discuss openly, without any hatred towards other communities, to reach a suitable answer, to be accepted by all. We want to end the political doldrums respecting secularism. Please go through the following description to understand what people of Bharat think about secularism. All people of Bharat belonging to any religion, cult and sects have been living for centuries with peace, harmony, brotherhood, and as a family. We people never hated each other's communities. At social level, there has never been major problems among the multi-religion communities. As soon as the political people enter the scenario, the differences start erupting. Hindus and Muslims used to eat together, attend the cultural functions together, worked together, helped each other, except during partitions due to excitement as well as instigation. It all happened. There is no danger from one community to the other. In fact, they protect each other. What a common citizen perceive about secularism. Live together, all communities, Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Christians, as आपस में सब भाई भाई. All citizens, irrespective of communities, are brothers. There is no difference among them. Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Sais, Bharat Mata, सबका मंदिर. Bharat Mata is a temple, is a mosque, is a church, is a gurdwara, is a sign for all its people. All citizens are having equal status politically, economically, कुछ है? Excuse me. All citizens are having equal status politically, economically, and in all respects of progress and opportunities. We all have to live in Bharat forever. We do not even in dream intend to see us being ruled by a foreign third country. We shall without hesitation sacrifice our lives to the good of motherland Bharat Mata. मेरे देश की धरती सोना उगले उगले हीरे मोती. My mother grows golden crops for us, give all kinds of facilities and amenities necessary to live in peace. We all know that a common person cannot think to reach the rightful seat of power till these political sinners survive on Bharat Mata. But still we believe in live and let all live policy. We do not have any hate with anybody. All have to work together in unison for the sake of national progress. Our nation has given equal rights to all its citizens. Every one of us is entitled to be the president or the prime minister. But our representatives have consolidated so much power that we, the principals and masters, are unable to do anything to resolve the complexities out of this existence. We still want to live in peace. We, despite having different cultures and sects, shall be living in harmony, affection, love, and for the good of all of us, so that the good of the nation continues. Our nation is excellent in the world. We never differ on the ground, but politics always misleads and mix us just to let them survive in the chairs. We have not studied well all these 60 years, and now got competent enough to lead us ourselves. Our secularism lies in living together, not separating. Our secularism lies in solving our national problems together by the help of everybody for the betterment of all. All problems have been caused by dishonest political leaders belonging to all the political parties. Our secularism does not accept to permit even a single person sleep without food any day. Our secularism does not allow us to let the corruption to survive at all the counters of the government and all other sectors. Our secularism does not allow us to add to the problems such as population explosion being out of control, that is disastrous. Our secularism does not allow our people to commit suicide in general. Our secularism does not allow terrorism. The most difficult problem existing nowadays. We shall all do every act possible to suppress terrorism from our land. We shall do every act possible to remove the poverty and hunger from this land by secularism. We shall help all people together belonging to this land that has fed us for centuries. Our leaders have befooled us for long in the name of secularism and democracy as well. We shall do everything possible to permit everybody lead a decent life, irrespective of caste, irrespective of religion, irrespective of anything else. Poor have to be supported by riches to let them advance for their livings. We do not support political system based on caste hatred. Class hatred. We do not support political system based on religion, community, appeasement. We do not support political system in the hands of a small family or a group or a political party. We support secularism as brotherhood for all nationals and not relevant to religion. There are two major communities in Bharat. Mughals designated Hindus and Muslims. Our secularism lies in these communities to live together in peace with equal rights and opportunities. Messiahs, Christians and others shall also be in the same rating. All have to enjoy the power of the nation equally in the name of secularism. We do not accept the secularism as defined by a few political parties according to their suitability so that they get the votes continuously. We shall not allow these players of politics to game up and the lives of our children and future generation. They cannot game up with us. We, by secularism, shall take out the governance of the nation into our control. We are all sons and daughters of Bharat Mata. There are some misled individuals everywhere, and we shall try to reinstate their senses to the real secularism. Our constitution is missing the basic definitions of its principles. We shall together define these lapses. Politicians, please, in the name of our Bharat Mata, excuse us and let us live and allow others to live in peace with having a self-government in true sense, to which seat every community, every common citizen could access and rule. You have corrupted the nation, and we shall treat it by secularism, by socialism, and by real educated people's government. We don't want to spoil ourselves. We have a very bad track record in the history of Bharat. It is a fact that millions of Hindus, millions of about 80 million Hindus were massacred, were slaughtered by the Mughal kings in the last many centuries. We have digested that criminality by those foreigners, and we are not going to take any revenge on that, but everybody of us wants to live in peace. Secularism is a very good thing if it is taken positively, but secularism is also a very bad thing if it is considered political wise, if it is marketed by certain political parties for the purpose of votes, or if it is utilized for the purpose of bifurcating or trifurcating the society in the name of various religions. If you are a Muslim, it's fine. If you are a Christian, you are fine. But if you are a Hindu, it's not fine. Because if you are wearing a tilak, you are Hindu, you are not secular because you are wearing tilak. But if you are wearing a turban, there is no problem. If you are using a kirpan, there is no problem. You are secular. If you are going to pray for 5 times, you are secular. If you are leaving the job on Friday and going to mosque for prayer, there is no problem. You are a good Muslim, and therefore you are a secular. If you are talking of Ram temple, you are not a secular person. You are a criminal because you are communal. If you talk of Ram Setu, you are communal because development is more important than maintenance of the secularism or maintenance of Hinduism or maintenance of Ram. If you talk of Ram and Krishna, you are communal. If you talk of Islam, Muhammad, you are secular. If you talk of Jesus Christ, you are secular. If you talk of any temple, you are communal. This is what is happening in our country, which is entirely wrong. We have to think first. First of all, we are all citizens of Bharat, and we should not forget that we are basically from Vedic nation. We are a Vedic nation. Islam here never originated. It originated in Arab. Christianity never originated here. It originated somewhere else. Some of our brothers who could not understand our religion, or by force, they converted themselves to other religions. We don't mind that. We love them. They are our brothers, but their blood is the same. They were misguided. Let them enjoy that. But the political parties should not market that. Let them live in their way. Let them have their own laws. In secularism, when the nation is secular, the government, the state should not interfere with the religions. The state should not give grants for any pilgrimage to any community, or they should go to all communities. They should not give any concession to any communities. They should not give any aid to the religious institutions which they have been giving. They should not use the money collected by certain temples for the development of others. For example, they are taking monies from big temples and spending that for the development of other communities. That is not acceptable, but it is happening. This is not an argument, this is just a fact. Now, let us say certain references of secularism that are can say, researched over. Secularism, in one sense, asserts the freedom of religion and freedom from the government imposition of religion upon the people within a state that is neutral on matters of belief and gives no state privileges or subsidies to religions. This is one of the explanations. Let us go to the other one. Secularism, in another sense, refers to a belief that human activities and decisions, especially political ones, should be based on what it considers to be evidence and fact rather than religious influence. Where religion-based doctrines directly refer to absolute truth or divine law, secular law is based upon reasonableness, which was developed during the age of enlightenment. Secularists believe that all activities falling outside of the private sphere should be secular, not religious. Let us go to another one. In political terms, secularism is a movement towards the separation of religions and state. This is the idea that religion should not interfere with or be integrated into the public affairs of a society. This can refer to reducing ties between government and the state religion, replacing laws based on scriptures or Shariat law or any other religious law with civil laws, and eliminating discrimination on the basis of religion. This is said to add to democracy by protecting the rights of both religious minorities and others. Secularism is often associated with the age of enlightenment in Europe and plays a major role in Western society. The principles, but not necessarily practices, of separation of church and state in the United States. In France, draw heavily on secularism. As in the West, the idea of separation of the church from the state has also existed in India since ancient times. Hindu traditions lend strong support to the idea that the functions of the priest and the king are to be separated. An attempt was made to build a modern Indian society on these values, and to a certain extent, this attempt has been successful as well. Due in part to the belief in the separation of church and state, secularists would prefer that politicians make decisions for secular rather than religious reasons. In this respect, policy decisions pertaining to the topics like abortion, embryonic stem cell research, same-sex marriage, and sex education are prominently focused upon by American secularist organizations like the Center for Inquiry. Secularism is likewise an essential component of a secular humanist, social, and political ideology. Most major religions accept the primacy of rules of secular democratic society, but may seek to influence political decisions or archive or achieve specific religious or influence through such church-state agreements such as concordat. The majority of Christians are proponents of the secular state, and may acknowledge that the idea has support in biblical teachings, specifically in the book of Luke. However, fundamentalists oppose secularism. The most significant forces of religious fundamentalism in the contemporary world are fundamentalists, Christians, and fundamentalist Islam. Some of the well-known constitutionalist secular states are Canada, India, France, United States, Turkey, and South Korea, although none of these nations have ideological form of governments. Let us say about a secular society. What is secular society? Secular society means a society which respects all the religions. It's a society that allows the practice to every individual to confess and to practice the choice of individual religion. Society does not impose on any person belonging to that society to follow a particular religion. In Bharat, it's a society. We are a society. And we have different religions here, various religions, and we should respect, the government should respect the acceptance of everyone. And we should be all on the same pattern. The law should be uniform. But it's not happening in our country. Hindu community, which is Vedic, is, as far as the marriage is concerned, marriage is solemnized based on Arya Samaj or Sanatan Dharam or any religious ceremony. It is done by taking feras, 7 circulars, revolutions around the fire. This is the religious sphere. It is certified by the religious authorities. But while it goes to the court for the purpose of registration, it comes under the purview of the Hindu Marriage Act and not according to religious ceremony. This is one difference. One, you can say, disparity. Now, if you take the example of Islam, the marriage is solemnized by Shariat law, by Kalma, and it applies officially. So nowadays registration is going to take place. But that will happen. What will happen? Sharia will apply. As far as divorce is concerned, in Hindu, divorce cannot be granted by religious laws. Divorce is applied only in the court of law, and under the Hindu Marriage Act, divorce can be claimed. And it takes years, decades, and divorce may not be possible. Decree may not be awarded. But if you see the Islam in India, how it works, divorce can be done under Sharia Act by talaq. But it doesn't take any time. The person applying for a divorce need not go to court for the purpose of that. So where is the equality? A Hindu person has to go to the court for a number of years. He has to go there on every date. Both husband and wife, they have to pray to the court, and it will take decades, sometimes forever. No, the couple will not get a divorce. But in Islam, you can take divorce, or you can extend your marriage to 2, to 3, to 4. So there's a disparity. In a Hindu has to wait in the court for a number of years, but a Muslim does not go through that exercise. So where the secularism works, it doesn't work here. This means there should be a law which should apply to all citizens of Bharat. That is called uniform marriage law or uniform civil law, which this Congress government and those people, those politicians who are claiming that they are secular, do not want to do this. Why there should be difference in two communities? This is a big difference. This should not be there. It's not a question of communalism, it's a question of reality. One citizen and the other citizen cannot be in two boats. So secularism can also be the social ideology in which religion and supernatural beliefs are not seen as a key to understanding the world and are instead segregated from matters of governance and reasoning. In this sense, secularism can be involved in the promotion of science, reason, and naturalistic thinking. Secularism can also mean the practice of working to promote any of those three forms of secularism. It should not be assumed that an advocate of secularism in one sense will also be a secularist in any other sense. Secularism doesn't necessarily equal to atheism. Indeed, many secularists have counted themselves among the religions. Some societies become increasingly secular as a result of social processes, rather than through the actions of a dedicated secular movement. Secularism is the code of duty pertaining to this life, found on considerations purely human and intended mainly for those who find theology indefinite or inadequate, unreliable or unbelievable. Its essential principles are three: the improvement of this life by material means, that science is the available providence of man, that it is good to do good, whether there be other good or not. The good of the present life is good, and it is good to seek the good. Live and let others live good. Do good for everybody. Think good for everybody. Humanity is the basic religion. Every religion says, but particularly dharma religions, which is Hindus, this religion applies to the whole humanity. Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, God Shiva, God Brahma, all say whatever laws are there, this applies to everybody living on this earth, even to creatures. There's no difference. Dharma is not a particular community, it is overall. Others have nominated their religion, but I'm not criticizing any religion. Every human has a right to live. Every human has a right to let the other human live, to let the other creature live. No human has a right to kill any other one, any other creature. Anyway, this is a different one. Now, its proponents argue secularism is the concept that society should be governed by a process of reasoning rather than religious beliefs. Its opponents argue that secularism is a concept which, instead of presenting freedom of religion, actually holds all religions in contempt. Well, these are all different things from the various papers, but if you see here, our main issue is that secularism is something which we have to regard in our relation, how it should apply to our country, our Bharat, or Bharat that has been for centuries and for thousands